When we consider Paul and his relevance today, we have to think about the backdrop in which we live our lives. Are some important aspects to our society today? What do we value? What do we consider true today? One of those things is that everyone is equal. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter perhaps even what you think necessarily. Everyone has value. But this idea comes from the writings of Paul himself and have made their way slowly into society over the years, and we can look historically at how that happened. But the fact of the matter is, Paul's teachings and thoughts are impacting society even today with that one example. But also, the church as a whole, Paul is so important. The way we form our administrations, the way we go out on mission, how we do that, the life of Paul is looked at, his teachings are looked at, and in most pulpits today, even if you're talking about the Old Testament or some obscure story in Scripture, Paul's teachings start to mingle in there because his desire was for us to understand what true doctrine was and the importance of having good, pure doctrine. And so, for the church, how to live the Christian life is seen through the life of Paul and his teachings. But let's just look at society and those who may reject Paul, want to counsel Paul, say he's our enemy. Do they get to decide if Paul is important? Is he relevant? Well, they don't get to decide what is true and false. They don't get to decide what is right and wrong. Nor do they get to decide who is relevant and who isn't. God gets to decide that. God decides what is true, what is right and wrong. And he has inspired men such as Paul to write down those things and to impact society. And Paul impacted society from the first century onward and continues to do so today. For example, the questions of identity, who am I, what am I? The questions of what is a woman and her role, what is a man, masculinity, slavery, different issues of society, the end of the world even. Paul wrote down answers to all these things. And so he is very relevant in understanding how to live a Christian life in today's society. And that is why Paul is still relevant today.